If you don't know me, well, anyway, I'm really glad that you're here at Red Sleigh Workshop Live. We're really happy to have Jeffrey Holmes here with us, Jeff Holmes. And we have some special guests coming in a second as well. Patrick's over here. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's outside of so we're live from our training location in Schertz, Texas. This is the room. All the magic's going to happen here tomorrow and Friday. And Patrick's outside showing you the outside of the building as well. Someone else is joining in. It's open for anybody to join. So hi, Jose, if you're joining in. I have it on the Zoom, just the link. Anyone can join and say hi. So anyway, I'm Stacey with Red Sleigh Workshop, and I've been in the commercial Christmas business for over 20 years, working with cities, shopping centers, resorts, malls. And now I help installers scale from their residential business to a six-figure commercial business. That's the goal. 6 or 7 figures is where they want to be. And I help them get those projects without like bleeding all the margins or losing out on when they grow. It's like, where are the gaps? How do they grow? That's what I help them with. So we're going to talk about how to help elevate installers to the next level, and a lot of things that Jeffrey works with the other companies that he knows are really helpful to installers to elevate to that next level. And Patrick, as always, the calm in my chaos, he's here with us too. He's our executive vice president of Red Sleigh Workshop, and he brings the operational side of it, the down to earth logistical side of it, definitely planning and all of those things is his specialty, not mine. And he's the guy who makes sure everything happens like in everything goes well. And so Patrick, go ahead and say hello, and then I'll introduce Jeff.
Hey, everybody, I'm Patrick, Executive Vice President, co-founder of Red Sleigh Workshop. It's been a busy day. Our first 2-day training of the season is tomorrow, so I'm actually in the lobby of the hotel that we're doing the training in. So I just got food. I had to order Domino's because it was still last minute, but I'm going to eat for a minute. I'm so excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for the live tonight. It's been a little crazy today, setting up some displays and getting the room ready. So, like Stacey said, I'm more of a logistics person, scheduling,
Everyone,
crisis management,
I think he needs to put
all
his
that good
Wi-Fi on.
stuff. So it's been a fun year, and I'm looking forward to all the events we have coming up, especially Transworld. Right, like I said, we have our 2-day training tomorrow and Friday, and yep. So I'm gonna, for the first time today, Stacey's a little bit of a work done, so now I can eat. So I'll see y'all in a bit.
So hi, Jose. If you want
Hi.
to introduce yourself and your company that you're with, or if you're just here to say hi to Jeff, that's fine too.
Absolutely. So my name is Jose Barrios. I've been doing as a hobby doing Christmas lighting and projection mapping on my home for a few years. I go to the Florida Mega Mini every year. I haven't gone to
Ooh, okay.
Transworld, and the reason I was interested in this is because I am actually retiring in 3 weeks, and one of my dreams was to start this business as I go into retirement for extra income, and I'm moving to North Carolina where I
Oh,
plan to start this up.
awesome. That's amazing. You're coming to Transworld?
So I go to the Florida Mega Mini for all these years, and I've been here about Transworld. So I don't know.
Mhm.
I might actually pop up in the one in Pennsylvania coming up.
Oh, the East Coast. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
coming up in April.
yeah.
Yeah. If it were up to me, I would say you definitely should be at Transworld because that's where all the big players are and all the classes are for all the installers. But either way, either one is good. But I'm
So
promoting
I
the
get
one
a
that I'm
little
going to be
confused
at.
because I go to Transworld and I see that they have Transworld Halloween, Christmas,
Hmm.
and they have it in different parts, and so that confused me a little bit. So which one in specific are you referring to?
So Transworld Christmas Show is a sub show of the an
Okay.
event show. Simultaneously, there's multiple classes happening. So the Transworld Christmas show is the same days that the Halloween show is. It's in the same forum. You get a ticket to both when you get a ticket into the show. There is a pre-show class that is for commercial installation. There's also a permanent lighting pre-show class that's happening the Wednesday, March 25th. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the show floor is open, but there's also a series of classes that are geared towards installers that are 12 classes with all different topics to help you elevate your installation business for the Christmas season. And simultaneously, the trade show is happening, and there's an installer floor, an installer hub that you can go and hang out and get classes there for free as well. People are going there and doing workshops there. And there's also an entire Christmas series that's happening as well that you can buy classes individually if you're interested in any of the topics. Jeffrey will talk about that here in a minute. But it's really, there's a lot to do at Transworld, and it goes over that from that Wednesday all the way till Sunday. And the trade show is open Thursday through Sunday. And so you can spend the entire week there and take a bunch of classes. And yeah.
In particular, the one that's coming up in St. Louis.
Yes.
That's the one
you want to go to.
Yep, that's the one we're talking about. Yeah.
By the time we're done with this live podcast, you're gonna be like, I'm going to Transworld. There's just no way we're not. Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's it's March 25th through the 29th. I think.
Yes,
that's the dates. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
right now I'm in Florida, South Florida. And so I'm in the process of selling my home, and I'm trying to move over to North Carolina in around March, April. So
no kidding.
North
Carolina.
So it depends. Right now, I still got to find a home that is suitable for what I'm looking for. But I'm looking from Cary Apex, all the way up to the east side to Wendell Falls.
Where are you at in Florida?
Boca Raton.
Because the Lighted Up Expo is coming up in Orlando.
2 weeks.
Well, when you do end up coming up here, I live on the border of Northern and Southern California, just below Carowinds. So come on, give me a holler. We'll catch up when you get out here.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, right now I usually go every year to the Florida Mega Mini that this year is in Plant City, because I'm more into the X Lights platform, and I just started getting into projection mapping 2 years ago, and so I just right now been getting into Illumibot, which is how I found about this meeting, and so really getting really quick into it. My background is software engineering. So I pick up a lot of this stuff very quickly. I'm right now in my workshop where I do all my 3D printing. I do all my welding, anything that I need. So I'm really looking forward to getting something going.
I'm excited for you, Jose. Definitely get a hold of Jeffrey when you're up there, because it's going to be great.
Absolutely.
All right.
Honestly, so I came up through all of the minis and Christmas Expo and the other events. And I have a philosophy that from a community perspective, the local minis are really good at finding community and finding support. But for the most part, they are very focused on residential and what you can do as a residence. But when you jump over into heavy commercial, there are things you cannot do because you don't have the choice to walk outside of your own house and fix it. It's a different way of thinking. And so the Transworld show in St. Louis is a trade show. It's not a conference. It is a trade show for commercial installers and commercial operators. And so the mentality is just different. Not bad, just different. And I honestly believe that the different minis throughout the country can feed up into Transworld when people like yourself are ready to make that next jump.
Good to know.
It's true. And I'm going to talk about that in a second when we get to that class, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about Jeff. So, I mean, if you're on this, if you're watching this, then he needs no introduction. I mean, it's Jeff Holmes. Everyone knows. And we're going to talk about what you do, what you're doing now, what things that have changed in your life and where you're going from this point forward. Right. And also like what what did you like, how did you do the Trans World series? Like what came up with that, the Christmas series? Like what happened? What got you to do that and how was that? Because I know like a lot of those sessions are really like they're really thought through this year. It's different than it's been in the past. Like there's different things happening. It's not like it was, and that's what I'm trying to get out there is to say this isn't like it's been the last 5 years. When you came on, and then I came on to do things. Things are different, right? There's different classes, different vibes, and I just want to
They
hear
are.
about it. So tell me what happened in that. If you want to talk about
Sure.
first yourself, and then about that, we'll start with there.
Sure. Well, yes, for those who do not know, I am Jeffrey. Sort of like Cher. I don't have a last name. I'm just kidding. No, my name is Jeffrey Holmes, and I'm what they call a producer for hire. So I lift the burden off of event managers by spearheading their new creative projects, so that way they can focus on keeping the turnstiles turning and the other operational needs. Because too many times you have event departments that are really good, but they're also really full and really busy. And so, if they want to add a new event or they want to add a new display or attraction within their event, where are you going to find that bandwidth? I'm that bandwidth. So, that's what I do, and I combine Jesus, too many years of experience in a variety of different fields, from performance to film to music to Christmas lights to Halloween, and depending on what the project is, I bring in whomever I need from a contracting perspective to get it across the finish line. So
That's great.
it's fun. It is interesting because my portfolio is very eclectic. It's not like
Diverse. It's
yeah,
diverse. Yeah, it's
that's true.
diverse. Yeah.
That's very true. But yeah, so Jen reached out and asked if I would be willing to spearhead Christmas this year at Transworld, specifically Christmas education. And I think one of the big differences, right, with you, Stacy, and myself is our network of friends, right?
Right.
The people that we would tap for this are maybe different than, people who've been tapped in the past. And so what what I think is really different is we did two things differently. One, before we dove into writing classes, we came up with a North Star and really focused on who is actually the key attendant at Transworld. And it really tends to be, right, small to medium sized operators,
Right.
or small to medium sized installers. And that's not to say the big guys aren't there, but if Six Flags is coming to my class, I'm just going to retire because that'd be really cool. But like, but it's I'm not expecting Six Flags or Universal to be coming to our classes. It would be cool, but that's not who I'm thinking is coming to these classes. So we created this North Star and said, all right, every class has to save you money, save you time, or help make you money. And if it doesn't
Okay.
do one of those three things, we're cutting it. And so from there, rather than, and I will say historically, we've put the call out to teachers and to networks and communities saying, hey, pitch your classes, which is how a lot of the other trade shows do, right? You look at IAPA, they put out a call for speakers, and then you look at the classes, and there's people and committees that pick those. Well, we twisted it this year and said, well, what if internally we determined what kinds of classes we felt were going to best suit the attendees, and then go find the teachers that would best suit those classes. So it was just a very different way of thinking about it, because we built the entire system and we built the entire, for lack of a better term, schedule or programming, and then filled the teachers in. And that was very much based on, as you know, Stacy, between our two
Yeah.
networks, between you, me, and Jen going out, and that was a really fun challenge, because I am a public speaker, and I have keynoted, funny enough, I've keynoted Jose's Mini. I've done the Florida Mega Mini, and I used to keynote Christmas Expo, and I've taught classes at Transworld myself. And so what I have learned over time is an expert is one thing, but an expert who can explain themselves in an entertaining way and in a way that you will take tangible insights away is a very different beast. So I very much was challenging myself to not just say, all right, who do I know who knows this stuff? But who do I
Right.
know that knows this stuff that can teach this stuff? And
Exactly.
and that's why you're seeing a lot of I won't want to say unknown faces, but you're seeing a lot of names that you have never heard of before, because these are the actual people in the trenches doing the work, but they're doing it at such a scale and such a level that, like, you've just never heard of them. And what I love about them is they don't realize how good they are. Like, I've had conversations, and this was a genuine conversation. I called someone up, and I said, "Hey, I'm doing Trans World Christmas Education now. I have a class that I think you're perfect for." And I literally would get multiple times, like, "Really? Me? Like, I don't know if I'm qualified for that." I was like, "Excuse me, your pedigree is like longer than my life. Like, you are very qualified for this." And so because of that, we've got some amazing people. You know, we've got some really down to earth people, like my friends over at Nuga Lights, which,
Yeah.
you know, they have a really unique story. We have multiple people from Silver Dollar City, which of course is, you know, a massive, the number one holiday attraction in the world, or in the United States. You know, something like, I forget how many years, 10 years running, something like that. And so being able to bring those people in as an example, was just, honestly, it was a little crown on my own, a little jewel in my own crown. I was really proud of the fact that they all said yes. So, yeah, it's gonna feel different. It's gonna be different, but I definitely feel like we're building on a reputation and a legacy. And honestly, I think that was the big thing for me. Was I just wanted to make sure that I maintain the status quo of what people were expecting, you know, and if I could add my own little glitter onto it, I wanted to.
I love the glitter. I'm so glad that you added it. We have Patrick with us here as well, right here.
And
I
you
made it
didn't
back.
didn't bring me my pizza. What the heck, man?
Oh.
So, like I said, we're prepping for our training tomorrow. So we also have another friend with us that's been hiding out. You want to see who this is? Whoop, whoop. Oh, there's all three in the screen here. Here we go. We have Ashley Bissing from One Love Social. So everyone, if you're on here, say hi to Ashley. We had a couple people saying hi on Facebook. Tim Crouch. If you're here in Tim as well, you can come visit. We're out here. Michael Estrada Jr. Hi, Michael. Yeah, Patrick's Wi-Fi was really excited about that. And hi to Grant, whoever else is watching on Facebook. Good to see everybody. If you have questions for Jeffrey, questions for Ashley, questions for Jose, or questions for Patrick, there, go ahead and put them in there in the comments here, and we'll go ahead and get them answered as we're talking about everything. So, Ashley, if you want to introduce yourself real quick so people know who you are.
Sure. I'm Ashley. I own One Love Social, and I'm one of the unknown people that will be speaking at Trans World. I'll be on two stages, and I'm really, really excited. I've been a part of like this Christmas light community for a long time. First time actually, on the commercial side, being here with Stacy and the gang. But this is my thing. These are my people, and my company. We specialize. If you don't know who I am, we specialize in social media. So we get our clients lots of leads on Facebook and Instagram, and we have the goal of trying to make them 5 mile famous in their area, because that's really important. And so I'm the annoying one that's like, go dance, go do that.
Yeah.
Oh my
And then I blast that all over your service area, and people recognize you at the grocery store and say, was that you in that Santa suit?
It's
Yeah.
true.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, and so
hilarious.
I love the fact that she talks about 5 Mile Famous, because that's what we're trying to do with our commercial Christmas clients, the people who are, of course, trying to move into the commercial space, because they need to be 50 mile famous basically in their area. But it's the same idea that that not a lot of commercial end users are looking on Facebook for clients, but Instagram's a big spot for it, as well as other locations. So I'm sure Ashley's going to talk about that tomorrow, or whatever day you're talking. Tomorrow.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
and
talking.
honestly,
Don't look at me. I just
Not right now, tomorrow.
well, and honestly, the fact, within the first 60 seconds, you gave a very tangible goal. And that, I think, is huge, right? You're going to come out of Ashley's class and have not only tangible goals, but tangible things you can do. It's not just hoity-toity philosophy, right? The goal is 5 mile famous,
Philosophy.
and here's how you can do that. I think is really, really
She
great.
makes us dance.
Oh no. In the
Hmm.
class?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, the
I've
only other
done it a couple times. And now it's like not a big secret, but people still participate because they're having fun with me. But
this is
Hey,
great.
he even danced.
you dance?
The only other teacher that I know that has made people dance in their classes is me. So I love this.
Oh,
This is great. I'm
okay.
so ready for this. You know, one of the questions that I've been getting is in comments and messages has been, what classes do you recommend? What classes should I take? I don't know if we've had that on this live, but I've seen this popping up. And so, you know, I like all the classes. I think they're all great. But if for people who are kind of looking for a nudge, I think if you had to pick a couple, if you are brand new to this, if you are walking into trans world going, I am as green as the grass, then I think the three classes you would want to look at are Commercial Light Show Essentials with Tom Bet George, Where to Skimp, Insights on Where Money Can and Cannot Be Saved with Kelly
Mhm.
from Silver Dollar City. And I swear I didn't know you were going to be on the show, but it says it. Go viral, creating Christmas content that pops, performs, and gets reposted with Ashley. So I
It was
think
not even planned.
it was not
Mm-mm.
planned, but
Promise.
truly,
That's
if you're
harder in the
brand
lobby.
new, yeah,
He
if
was getting Uber Eats in the lobby.
but yes, I think if you're brand new and you have to pick three or have to pick one or two, I think those are the starting points. And then once you're hooked, you're going to end up in looking at all sorts of other classes. But
Okay, so
those,
I would say to pick the first class of the whole series right here because this one is my class, but that's one I would say you need to go to. Luxury Christmas Experiences, Designing for Resorts and Destinations with Stephanie and Stacy. And then this is when you said Commercial Light Show
yep,
Essentials, right?
yes,
Updated for 2026. This is the first time that Stephanie and I have been on the stage together, but if you don't know her, she's the mom who quit her job to start a Christmas store in Florida. Check her out
Oh, I've heard of
on
her.
TikTok. Yeah, and Holiday Joy Buy is her company, and she's been a great client and she's been a great friend. Her mom has been a friend of mine for 20 years in the industry. She has a store in Dubai and
Wow.
does big resorts out here in the US. So anyway, that's the backstory about that one. Tom Bet George, tell us a little bit more about this one because it's updated for 2026. So is this the one you're talking about for drive-throughs and walkthroughs, Jeff?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Tom, of course, is literally world famous, and the ability to be in the same room with him is a very lucky and rare thing indeed. So I think this is a really great class, because the majority of Christmas displays are either on foot or in vehicles. This is a really great place to start because he has just amplitudes of experience when it comes to both sides of those kind of development efforts. And I think it'll give you a strong sense of what you should do because you may not know. You may be at the point of, if you are just deciding you want to do an event, should you do a drive-through? Should you do a walkthrough? That's question number one. But then question number two is how do you do it? And I think Tom's going to be able to show you, overall what it takes to handle both sides of those.
I love that because that's a question I get a lot when people that are coming into the commercial space. They say, "Oh, I have this church or this farm that called me up and they want to do a walkthrough show." And it's overwhelming for people if they don't have a plan or know how to do it. And they may do great at other things like putting up Christmas trees or putting lighting up and things like that. But when it comes to designing and planning a structure and a flow and all of that, like people don't know. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, and funny enough, I think I have to redact a little, not redact. I need to reclaim a little bit of what I said when I'm saying that, for newbies, these are the three classes I recommend. In my mind, I'm thinking you are owner operator. So
right.
if you want to actually own and run the event, if you're a service provider, I have a whole other set of classes I think you should take. If
Okay, let's specify that because
yeah,
definitely, because a lot of people who are watching us tonight are going to be the people who are providing the decorations and the installing of it. They're doing the work and
yeah.
also doing the designs and putting it out there into, you know, into the
So
hands of the people who are needing it.
funny enough, then, and again, not planned, but if you're a service provider, the three classes I think you should take are luxury Christmas experiences. Truly, yeah, truly. That I think that is such a unique class. I've literally never seen it, and when we wrote it, this was one of the like there were two or three classes that I was literally sitting here going, we have to do this class, and I have no idea who's going to teach it, but we're going to
Mhm.
figure it out. And then, of course, Stacy, you stepped up, and then Stephanie, which is funny because I have also worked with Stephanie's mom in
Mhm.
Dubai, and that was a very, very small world. But yeah, luxury Christmas experience. I mean, especially with your teaching background and both of your pedigrees, that is such a world that no one gets a glimpse into. And so being able to do that, I think is going to be great. And then the other class I'd recommend is on-site troubleshooting best practices. It's with Jordan Nash. It's a very practical class, very
Okay.
practical class. And then Christmas scenic design and build techniques with Amanda from B Morrow Productions. Those three give you a nice, well-rounded understanding of design, on-site troubleshooting, and then of course, the other side of Christmas, which is scenic, not necessarily just Christmas lights. And those, admittedly, those are from the classes that I was responsible for. There's also LITE, right? And the
There is. Mhm.
entire Red Sleigh portfolio of classes, which is specifically designed to bring you up to speed as a service provider. So, that is a different kind of commitment, right? And obviously you're focusing very much on the business behind this and the practical installation techniques and sales techniques and the whole well-rounded business of the business. Uh, but if for whatever reason, LITE isn't your speed, then this would be my alternative recommendation.
I appreciate that so much. And I just pulled up on the screen the LITE series, right? The light series. And it says here that it's a 3-day series and that there's an itinerary up here too that talks about when there's breaks and when there's show breaks. So what I built in here was basically a lot of the things that I've seen are necessary and are missing, a lot of the gaps that the clients I work with are asking about all the time. How do I do this? Where do I find a person that does this? What company does that? And it's like, okay, well, let's get them all in one place over
Yeah.
3 days and you can find out how to do it and who you need to work with. And if you really are ready to do that and move your company up in that way. So the first day we're talking to Michael Carey, he's talking about how to help put a safety system together with plug and play training systems and training and safety is so important in our industry. As you know, people get hurt every year and, people even pass away if they're not being safe. And it's a very dangerous thing to not do is it's not smart to not train your guys, right? So it's really important for that. Heather's coming in to talk about six figures in 6 weeks. She's an interior designer. It's a really fun class for her. And then we have lunch breaks, show breaks, and then we just go into all these other things. Party rental business. Tariq, he has Event Hawk and his company. He wrote a book about bounce houses, how to start your own bounce house business. And I think it's a great segue for someone who's looking to have more money in the off season, right? And then the AI class, everyone wants to know. That's probably going to be full. I'm sure the AI class is full. But what's great about this is it's 3 days and it's one ticket. You can buy it all for one price, or you can buy individual classes, right? So they're priced out either way on the site. There's what Red Sleigh Workshop is doing is we have one price for the entire series and for our 1 day commercial Christmas training. So if someone's watching and they want to come to our 1 day Christmas training, we have some animated lighting folks coming in to our training and to talk about their products. And we also have Tinsel CRM coming in to talk on our 1 day class too. But included in our ticket price is a ticket to the show, the trade show, and a ticket to this light series. So you can buy it all in one packet and save money, or you can just buy them individually as well. So that's what a lot of people ask. Well, how do I just get one class? Well, you can just get one class, or you can get all of them, or you can get 5 of them. Just, I would suggest if you're curious, hit me up on, you can go on any social media and message my company. We're happy to help you or send me an email if you have questions about any of these classes. But I think it's really it's such a great lineup. I mean, all across the board. I wanted to jump over real quick because I know you were talking about Tom Bet George. A lot of
Mhm.
people don't realize who he is, and I put up here's his
Ah,
YouTube,
that's
right?
fair. It,
So this
admittedly,
is
yeah, he is a friend of mine. So for me, he's just Tom.
yeah.
But yes, Tom Bet George is a viral sensation. He was first became famous. I believe his house was on Good Morning America, and then ultimately, he did a Star Wars montage with his house that went world famous. And every time he puts out a video now, it gets hundreds of thousands of views. You can see in that
Wow.
bottom left-hand corner, the 2025 Christmas show got 915,000 views. And it's become a Christmas tradition. That video gets released every year, and my family, we sit down and watch it. I also work on the videos, admittedly, so I have a little bit of insight what's coming. But this is what he does on his house. And for
Wow.
residential, you can buy sequences that he makes as well as a
The
lot of
musical.
Oh
And
yeah, and he sells all the products, which is cool. The moving heads and the pixels, he sells all of that. And but since he is doing a bunch of commercial stuff that you can't really talk about because so much of that stuff is under NDA. He speaks really well to the residential side, but then he also speaks really really deeply to the drive-through and the walkthrough on the commercial side. Because people see his videos and they call him and then they hire him, and so he's doing stuff all over the world, and it's pretty incredible.
super fun. I love
Yeah,
it. So I mean, if anyone's interested in meeting this person in person, you can do it here. I mean, that's where it's going to be, right
very
here. We
true.
just had it up here.
Yeah, very, very true.
All
He's
right,
got a
yeah.
he brings his company, brings a booth, and of course the booth is always very impressive. But being able to sit and kind of let get into the brain behind the man is pretty awesome.
Right, and that's something too that we didn't talk about is all of the vendors that are there. It's not just the, I mean, it's just so much going on. There's the classes, there's the pre-show classes, training classes, there's the vendor area. Whoa, there's
Yes.
the vendor area. Not everyone's seen your tattoo though, Patrick. So as a
Yeah. So
posty tattoo on his arm.
I recently learned that there are 500 vendors at Transworld.
Wow.
Uh,
Only.
Only 500.
Hmm.
And I may botch this, so if Rich is watching, I'm sorry if I botch this, but I want to say the facility we're in is 500,000 square feet.
I heard that. I heard the
Yeah,
500,000 square feet. That's what I've been saying as well.
it's
That's the
massive.
number I got. Yeah.
And you just,
Wow. It
and
sounds like I'm gonna get lost.
We'll have a map for you.
I've got
Great.
some people that are
Got
coming
two
that have
late
never been.
signups. We got two more people coming tomorrow.
Oh, we do?
They
Nice. I'm
they
excited.
just confirmed.
Woohoo.
So
Congratulations.
Yeah, I've been trying to get them to come train with us for a while, so it's
That's
good.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
yeah, we
So
had a little bit of good promotion from Certified Lights. So
Yeah.
they're here, they're in town. So they were having
excellent.
dinner with them, and they were on the fence, and Ashley and the team kind
It's like we
of
can come
The other
back.
Ashley.
yeah, Ashley Garber got them to yep, they're
Ashley
going.
started
So
dancing and they were like, "Oh, she's here. We gotta go."
right. Well, and then going back to the classes, the
Yeah.
gentleman on the screen, I'm sorry, I forgot his name,
Jose.
Jose, but Illumibot is doing quite a bit this year
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
at
That's how he found us.
at the training.
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
so that I mean that alone, just to go take their classes, we got to spend some time with Ross and his team in September, and it was amazing. It was so cool. It was mind-boggling what Illumibot can do. So the fact that they're going to be teaching classes and
That's awesome.
Well, we get to meet him tomorrow too.
yeah, he's actually
He's
coming to our
taking our
training.
class. He actually wanted to
He's
take our
coming
class,
take
so he's
your
going to get our
class.
packet and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, so he'll
yeah.
be he might already be here. We don't even
He's
know.
probably already here. Yeah,
But
hiding out.
yeah, so Ross will be here for two
Mhm.
days, so we'll get to pick his brain even more about Illumibot. So that's going to be
So if you
exciting.
follow our social, you'll see all of our videos with him and stuff that he's doing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and Illumibot is both teaching and exhibiting, and they have
exactly.
a
Mhm.
good set of classes that they are teaching because projection mapping is such a hot option right now. You'll be able to learn from him, and then you will also be able to visit and see the products. And with IllumiBot, there are also some other projection mapping sources, not to pull away from IllumiBot, but that support LumaBot, because LumaBot is a very cool app and hardware package, but they work with, they don't make projectors, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
so you'll also have BenQ, which is a massive, massive company. You don't realize how big BenQ is until you start working with them. But BenQ is going to be there showing off their projection capabilities, particularly the hardware that you can buy, and that's who I use when I do projection mapping. And it's great because it's bright and it's not overtly expensive, which is nice.
Yeah, you're not going to say it's not expensive because they can be expensive to
Oh
some
yeah.
people, but it's just very, it varies on what your budget is, right?
Right. But if you
So
imagine, especially for people who come out of Christmas lights and go into projection mapping, you're spending you will spend, four, five, $600 on a pixel controller and its enclosure and its power supplies. And you will spend, you'll buy for a commercial project, dozens, depending on how large your project is. So it is sometimes hard to swallow the idea of, oh, I'm about to spend, you know, $5,000 on a projector, or I'm going to spend, buy four projectors at $3,000 a
people are
piece.
spending $100,000 on projectors.
True, if you're buying from
Yeah.
Christie or Barco, or but
Yeah.
admittedly, that thankfully is not BenQ's model, right? Their most
Right.
expensive one, as far as I know, doesn't even touch that. But they have projectors for this level of market that are in, the 2000s, 3000s. I've bought a couple that are in the 5 or 6,000s. But at the end of the day, that's kind of it, right? You do need an enclosure, you do need power, you do need a few other things. But for the most part, you put the projector down, and as long as it doesn't move, you're golden in terms of the hardware setup. So
Okay.
it really is, especially for people who don't want to have a heavy labor intense setup. If and when I finally start getting to do Christmas back on my own house again, my wife has already told me, you have to do it in a weekend. So you better believe projection mapping is going to be the way for me.
Right.
Yeah, that video
So
you were just playing, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Where he does a commercial setup in a retina optometrist office,
It's pretty wild.
and it simulates an aquarium, and then he goes into other prompts, but he shows some of the viabilities uh, of how the technology can be utilized. That's being done with 3 projectors.
Hmm. Sorry, I'm
Wow.
distracted. That's so cool. I really like
Mhm.
steampunk. And
We're
Yeah,
just all watching it like, ooh.
Right.
Yeah, and they're working on the software so now that you will be seamless instead of because if you look carefully, you can see the fact that it is 3 images instead of one that is
Mhm.
panoramic.
Yeah. It is
And it can
interesting.
just do an image or a video.
Stop it. I love this one.
Oh, this one's
That is
terrifying.
creepy.
It's so cool though. And what's really nice about it is because it is built, on an AI platform, one of the hardest things to do in projection mapping is make the content. And to a point that I have an entire company that offers a pre-made show, because the amount of time and money it takes to make your own custom pre-made content at a commercial level is astronomical. Between the hardware and the content and the labor and the setup and the teardown, a one night event can be $200,000-$300,000. So what I like and what I'm personally excited about with IllumiBot is that it puts the creative part into the hands of everyday consumers. And you don't have to be a motion graphics expert. You don't have to be, frankly, you don't have to have any animation or video experience, which is super helpful. I am personally curious though, like, could I recreate my own rentable projection show in IllumiBot? I'm not sure, but that's my sort of my personal litmus test. I want to see, like, could I recreate my entire show using IllumiBot?
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to check
Yeah,
it out
I
and
I
see.
want to find out. I'm super curious.
Wow. Yeah, so that's going to be, I know that he has a class. He's taking the light series. So if you go to the light series, you have a class with him, with Ross in there. But if you are interested in getting the class by itself, Thursday at 12:45, he has an hour class for interactive and immersive experiences. So his classes are talking about different things. It's not just one class. He's talking about for each specific genre. I don't know what's the word. Category. Thank you.
And I believe
Each industry.
yeah, I was gonna say, unless I'm very much mistaken, I thought there was also a Christmas projection content class, but maybe I'm.
He has one during the light series. What he's doing in the
Oh,
light
right.
series
That's
is
right.
specialized in for Christmas, but I think he's doing another one as well. So let me look and
In
see what his is
Halloween.
called. In Halloween, yeah. So he has one in the light series called was mainly for mapping installations, logistics, setup, and success. So like it's a 2-hour seminar on Friday morning that talks about
That's right.
like when you're talking about an environment of residential and commercial and public, like where do you place it? What's the logistics behind it? How do you set it up? What do you need to make it, weatherproof and all of those things? Just like you talked about, does it need the power a certain way? Is it going to be covered in a different way? Do you need 3 projectors or one? Like all those logistical things. So he has one specifically for Christmas light installers and theme park operators and municipalities, zoos, whoever's trying to get that mapping done on their own. I know a lot of once it's in the hands of certain people, like at different botanical gardens or places like that, they can just use that all year round. So once they learn it, it's a great thing for them. But that's his class on Friday. But I'm not sure about the main one. Let's see. The Christmas.
Yeah, right now I can't find it. So admittedly, I don't want to pitch it if my memory is just failing. There's a lot of classes that we had to keep our brain in for a while.
Right. Well, I know Ashley's class. Since she's here, we're going to talk about it right now. Let's have her give us a little talk about it. Here we go. Right here. Go viral, creating Christmas content that pops, performs, and gets reposted.
Well, I think this is one for anybody can get something out of because you put all the training, you have this amazing business, but nobody knows about you yet, right? Like, how do people find out? So, believe it or not, social media happens to be one of the biggest ways that people can figure out who you are. And so that's what I'm going to go into. And I know that a lot of people are very interested in the how. Like, we all understand, okay, yeah, I understand I should be on, Facebook and Instagram, but how? What do I do? Do I just have my daughter go and film something at, a Christmas light show, or do I need to hire an influencer? Oh, that could be expensive. So I kind of break it down on how you can do it yourself. And if you do want to hire out, what you want to look for. And I'll try to get as specific as I can as to type of cuts that you need to be making and edits.
Mm-hmm.
Because we never know when something's going to go viral. But if we put all the elements into a video that we're making. So if we have the hook, we have the call to action, we have, 25 different shots, different angles, it's very likely, right, that it's going to catch on. And especially when you put a little money behind it too, because Zuckerberg loves that. But that's what you can expect.
Mm-hmm.
You can expect to walk away with actionable items that you can do this season.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to sit in on this because today I was walking around writing and filming 10 different videos for the social media, and I did not have any of this, so I will have to sit down and listen in.
Yeah, she'll give you the actual repeatable system to use over and over.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely necessary. And I do the same thing. I sit down and do all these videos and I'm like, what do I even do with this now? Like I have all these
yeah. I mean, it's a lot, especially we all use ChatGPT. We're using AI and we get all these ideas, but it's one thing to have them and it's quite another to execute on them.
Exactly. So awesome. So Friday at 12:45, that's her class. If you want to go, you can check it out.
Please.
Yeah. And let's see.
We have giveaways too.
Ooh.
So just to make sure that we know you're listening.
I'm going.
I'll give you all the gear that we use.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, we have giveaways in this, or we have giveaways at the class itself?
Oh, at the class. yeah. But you have to be in the class to get the giveaway. But we give away some good stuff. Mics, tripods, the tools that you're going to essentially need to shoot with your viral content.
Well, that's smart. Now people are going to come to your class for giveaways. Look at
Yeah,
that.
Mhm. And they're
that's
not
cool. And
cheapies.
Yeah.
you got, I will admit, Stacy, this is fun hearing because, we admittedly, kind of put the seeds in the ground and put the seeds in people's brains and let them go to town. And like just hearing this is so cool. I'm like, this is more above and beyond than what I was even hoping for. So that's going to be cool. Her class
Yeah.
is going to sell out. So you got to sign up now. That's basically what I've
Sign
heard.
up now.
Totally. Okay. Hey, Michael. Patrick already said hi to him on there. I just checked Facebook again. I forgot about that it was sitting there.
It's
I forgot we're on
live.
here. We're
We're
just having
on
a
live.
conversation. So
Well, I imagine some people who are going to tune in are not newbies and may consider themselves service providers, but are not they're not new service providers. So I also want to point out a few classes that are unique, and I think would be really good for veterans of the industry,
okay.
people who've done a few things a few times. The first one is with Scott Swenson, and it's called Waiting for Santa. What can I do in queue? This is going to go
Oh, that's a good
particularly,
one.
yeah, it's different. And it's a very, I think queue lines are a very underappreciated opportunity. And so, you know, this is very much focused on literally a queue line for Santa, but I think the lessons learned can apply to other things because drive-throughs have queues, walking attractions have queues, and for a service provider to have that background knowledge and to be able to pitch to one of your clients, hey, have you considered this pain point? Will make you stand out above the rest, as an industry expert who understands their operational struggles.
Right, and that's Friday at 2 o'clock is his class.
Yes.
I'm coming up for that, and I didn't, thinking about that when you're in queue. I went through a bunch of drive-throughs last Christmas. I drove through a bunch up in the Dallas Fort Worth area, some of the really amazing shows, but there was really nothing in the queue. There
Yeah.
was no music, there was no ads, there was nothing to do, there was no food. It was like, okay, we're just waiting for 40 minutes to get into this drive-through, and then okay, that's like it
Missed.
seems like such a missed opportunity.
It's such a missed opportunity.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is an opportunity to not only make money because you have a captive audience, but it is also an opportunity to expand your story experience. And oftentimes I feel like with drive-throughs, the biggest complaint is people felt like it was too short. And so
Right.
you have this whole queue line that you can be doing things in to get people invested in the story of your show, get them invested in the characters of your show, get them mentally prepared to buy the merchandise of your show. you know,
All of that,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So, funny enough, with that, right? A lot of drive-throughs are very, very focused on lights, right? And admittedly, well, actually, I'd be curious to see what you think of this, Ashley. But you know, everyone's marketing 8 million lights, 9 million lights, 12 million lights, right? And it's always the same lights, 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 lights. So I'm seeing a trend from people who are trying to differentiate themselves beyond the lights to find other textures that they can use. And so Nicole from Cole Finney Creative is going to be teaching Beyond the Lights, which is ways to differentiate yourself using scenic and performance. And so that is a class to help veterans understand how they can use more than just lighting in order to create a different kind of experience in order to be able to have something else to market besides 7 million lights, 8 million lights, 9 million lights. Uh, it's definitely, I think this is a class that I think on the surface people might kind of go like, why would I take this? This is why you take this, because in the next few years, as more and more, drive-throughs, walkthroughs, etc., pop up, what are you going to do to be different? Or how are you
Mhm.
going to help your client be different? And this isn't happening yet. It is happening in a couple of places, but for the most part, they're still light parks, and that's all. They're all light parks. So to be able to differentiate yourself in the experience with something that kind of breaks through the noise, whether that is a scenic texture, a story texture, a performance texture, something else. This I think is going to be a very, very useful class for people who are ready to expand their minds.
I like how you use the term texture
Thank
because
you.
I'm thinking, yeah, I think of that too when I'm designing like large scale holiday programs for different places, like if it's a theme park or a shopping center, you have all the different layers is what I call them, but textures is the same idea where it's, you want to have the element of what's, is there something that has sound? Is there something that's going to flash? Is there something that's going to be just static? And you have an element that people can be interactive with and walk through, and all of those things come into play. But then this is the like next level where it's like, okay, but what else is there? Like there's scenic props, there's different photo ops, there's performers, there's people putting on shows at the same time. I think it's amazing. I think it's brilliant because how do you get people to talk about it and engage? How do you really engage with the guests that are coming through?
Yes.
Even if you're a retail shopping center, you're having a big event, or you have, every Friday night you have something that happens where people come and do something like this. It's I don't know. I think I always think of like back when flash mobs are really popular. Like that was
Yes.
so cool, right? I never
Mhm.
was in one, but I watched it on TV, and I think like I think it's kind of similar to that where it's like there's got to be something that's like you're not expecting,
Right.
Mhm.
right? The
You're hooked.
unexpected. Yeah, exactly.
You're
There you
hooked.
go.
Your hook, right? The thing you're going to put on
Is this
social
the
media
Yes,
after you
the
hook?
take. Yeah. Well, and the
Jeffrey
funny
didn't do
thing
it.
is, especially like you mentioned
The
shopping
hook.
centers and things like that, the ability to do something in the daytime, right? Right
Right.
now, light parks are
Right.
ugly in the daytime, right?
Yeah.
And that is the literal limitation. If you can design and create something that looks good in the day, even if it just expands your operating to dusk, right?
Right.
That is still a couple of hours of revenue and frankly, organic social media opportunity because there's something to take a photo of or
Mhm.
something to take a photo in front of. It really expands your opportunities. Nicole herself used to be, if you remember the now defunct company Oak Island Creative.
Yes.
Nicole
Mhm.
yeah, Nicole was a heavy player in that company, and of course they did all the big events nationwide for many many years, and so she's going to bring a lot of personal stories and professional experience to that class.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then
If I'm not speaking, then I want to go to this class.
yes, that's how I feel about most of these classes.
I want to go to
Yeah.
all of them. And I know I can't sit in all of them, but
Well,
I'd
and I
like to.
mean that's true. There is a ticket for that, right? There is a all
Mhm.
access, take all that you can ticket for classes. You physically cannot take them all, but you could fill your entire time with education. The other
Mhm.
class to top off the veterans classes, I think is going to be fun and different is attracting and managing massive crowds. And this is a
Big.
class from a gentleman named Tucker, who is, I'm going to mess up his title. He is, I think it's Senior Director of Campus Events, I believe is his title for Thanksgiving Point Institute, which is a very large property out in Utah. And I met him because he is the tip of the spear for Luminaria, which is a massive, massive Christmas event out there. And
Okay.
so wrote out this class and reached out to Tucker and said, "Hey, you deal with hundreds of thousands of people. Can you bring some of your insight on how you are dealing with traffic flow and how you are dealing with parking and how you are dealing?" Admittedly, it's not necessarily the most sexy conversation, but but at the end of the
Park over
day,
here.
Yeah, exactly.
well, I mean, honestly, I think there's 2 points to that, right? The first one is your guest experience starts when they get to your property. And I have had experiences that are completely broken by the parking attendant and their attitude. So,
Same.
there is a reality. That's awesome. Manager of the year. I did not know he won that, but also not surprised at all. Um, But it's your onboarding experience, whether it is parking or admissions or tickets, is a major part of how it goes, and that honestly has nothing to do with light show design. So it is a very necessary operational class, and Tucker has been part of Luminaria for a long time. He's seen it grow. He has a lot of really, really good stories to tell. And then I think, being able to combine that education with everything else that you're learning, a lot of the conversations that Tucker and I will have about Luminaria, as an example, is how long should the beats of the walkthrough be? Because if I put on too good of a show for too long of a time, we create a literal traffic bottleneck. And so
Right.
there is lots of discussions, and this is a not sexy discussion, but it absolutely affects
Right.
creatives like myself, where, I want to do this wonderful 10, 15 minute, extravaganza that's going to be the most marketable thing you've ever seen. And, everyone around the world is going to see it from space, right? And Tucker has to come back and say, hey, if you do that at the end of that show, you're going to have hundreds or thousands of people released at the same time, and then that is going to ripple as you go through the rest of the attraction in crowds and, frankly, getting out of the parking lot when you leave.
It's things
So
that people don't think about. It's
no,
just
they
an
do not.
amazing class. It's so
It's
smart.
all of this. It's the little things.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's the little things that make the big thing,
Right.
But like I'm like looking at all the titles of these, talks, and there's not one that I don't think is like not going to be valuable. I mean,
Thank you.
each and every one of them,
Thank you.
they're different enough, so it's not like there's much overlap.
Thank you for saying that. When I went to IAPA for the first time, God, many years ago, I remember walking out of there saying, everything you need to build a new theme park is in this building. And that was such an inspiration for me. I was like, this is crazy. If you had the money, you could walk in and find everything you need. And I think that is what we have this year at Transworld. It's like you could walk in completely green and walk out of it with the ability, the hypothetical ability, right? Because you need to get your reps in too, but you could walk out with the knowledge you need from really great experience to completely build something out and be ready for it from a creative, from an installation, from an operations, from a teardown perspective, and get to choose, where do you want to be in this machine of the holiday industry. So thank you. I appreciate you saying that. High five, Stacy. We did it. We did it.
Good job,
And,
everybody. We did it.
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited to hear what people think and to get the feedback, the after class feedback.
It looks extremely curated, and you can tell what you did. You can tell like that you knew who your avatar was, and like I'm extremely impressed. And so
Thank
I was
you.
one of the ones when Stacy was like, "Do you want to be a part of Transworld?" I was like, "Me?"
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there might be another one for you there. I go, "Me?"
It's true. It's very true. Now, Stacy honestly was really helpful in finding the classes. There were a few that I was like, I don't know who's going to teach this. It has to be taught, but I have no idea who's going to teach it. And
Yeah, so there's one I want to talk about because we have Jose on here that's coming up. That's one from yours. That is X Lights. So there's two X Lights classes. There's a
Saturday,
beginners.
I believe.
Saturday, I'm in the wrong day.
Yeah, I saw that. He's a good guy. He's pretty good.
So we have he goes live. Clay Lindsay goes live on Facebook once a week and talks about X Lights. But this is level 1 training, entry level class, talking about how do you do it. Why do you want to use X Lights? And then level 2 talks about complex sequencing and effects and things like that. So, in both of those classes, I think it's going to be super helpful if somebody's interested in that. Any of the people from your Florida Mega Mini and there's a California Mega Mini too. How many? There's how many? They're not small. They're
There's a
they're not
lot.
minis. They're mega. The Florida one this year, I was looking. They asked me to come. I'm like, oh, we can't put it in our schedule this year. We'll come next year. But it's huge. I
Yeah.
didn't realize how many people go.
Florida has gotten big, and
Right.
it has attracted people from other states. SoCal, which is the California one,
Right.
equal not as big, but still starting to attract people from other states. And honestly,
Right.
it's a combination of really good content programming, but also the location. The Florida Mega Mini, of course, is in Orlando, which you can justify as a great vacation.
Right.
SoCal Mini is at Garner Holt Productions, which is the animatronics company that provides Disney with most of their animatronics.
Oh
So
wow, it's theirs where they
it's
hold it.
it's in the building.
Amazing.
Garner does the keynote. Like
Okay.
it's pretty incredible. So those two are unique. There are minis all over the country. I don't remember the exact count right now, but they're not. They don't tend to be that big, or
Right.
that.
Florida's the biggest one. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Florida is massive. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and there's some other places that we're going this year. The Christmas Expo, are you going to there this year in July, or are you not planning on going?
No, no, I had to bow out of that. I had a conflict last year because of an event that I was producing in
Hmm.
California, and I had to bow out of that. And honestly, at this point, with everything going on in my life and the different projects that I'm slated for, I don't think I can really split my brain any further. I think
Come on, just
Transworld's
add five more shows, Jeff. You got
right,
this.
right. Yeah. Well, Transworld is getting all of my educational mental bandwidth, and then I think I'm done for the year unless Jen taps me to do East Coast or the one in Chicago or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm done. This was a lot. This was fun and it was a really cool challenge and it came at a perfect time of year to focus on it for me, but I'm not going to pretend it was easy.
Right.
Right? You did half the classes, uh, and the mental effort to just, as Ashley said, to think through what does our avatar need, and then
Exactly.
to chase after people to teach.
Right.
I'm good for a year, thank you.
And now it's a matter of people knowing what the classes are and what's even happening, right? Because we went on the Transworld Live show. We talked about that. We've talked about this right now. I'm going to have people on over the next couple of weeks too, up and coming for the show. More people who are speaking. I'm trying to fill my calendar with everyone who's coming
Nice.
because it just no, we don't know. No, they don't know. People don't know us. People don't know you. People don't know Ashley. And people don't know people like I see John Majak is coming out, and I mean,
I love John.
yeah, I've seen him speak before, and it like every time I'm like, oh, I
If
want
you
John
don't
to speak.
cry when John speaks,
I'm telling you,
you're not a human.
yeah, I'm telling you, he's amazing, and so I'm so excited he's coming on board. He usually gets paid a high ticket to come to have him come talk, so I'm really glad he agreed to come. Like we're not a high ticket speaker show,
No.
we're for a different crowd.
And tell people you paid me
Oh, no,
20,000.
as you know.
You're getting paid for this?
Right, you're getting paid? What?
You're not paying me,
Uber
but I'm
Eats.
so
I got
confused.
Uber Eats.
I got a pizza, right? Like that's not even here yet, man. Come on.
I think we all just love the community so much, you know.
Yeah. I'm excited just to see everybody, right? And to see all the everyone's newest things are bringing out and how their companies are evolving and what's available. I mean, that's I mean the most exciting thing for me is of course a networking, like the after show parties and things like that. So I know there's a bunch happening this year.
There are.
For the with the light series, we have the Flamingo Bowl tickets are on sale. If you're not going to light series, you can buy tickets for it too. We have bowling, karaoke, snacks,
When
music.
is that?
That's Thursday night.
What time?
That's a great question.
February 6th.
It is dun, da, da,
Survey
da.
says.
Not listed, of course. Why would it be? That would make way too much sense.
Not listed.
It's not on my where I can see. It's not on here. I know it's here somewhere. Yeah, I don't know.
Daily
Thursday.
events. Let's go
Under
go
events?
find it.
Oh, here it is. 5 to 7.
Thursday from 5 to 7.
Yep. Christmas light installers happy hour at the Flamingo Bowl. So if you buy the light package, you have your ticket included. You can also get your own ticket, $75 for to go, and it includes your bowling, your food. I think it has
Fun.
yeah,
Nice.
bar food. Yep. Pizza, chicken tenders, all that stuff. So, but the best thing are the people.
Yes.
That's
Well,
the
and
best
honestly,
part.
that's one thing that I really appreciate that Jen and Rich have spearheaded is like from 5 to 7 roughly on Thursday, there is a place to go for every avatar. Like
Yep.
Christmas installers happy hour, Agritainment network mixer, interactive entertainment mixer, VIP happy hour. I think that's all I can see right now. And like they're all at the exact same time, and so there's never this worry of like, oh, I'm gonna miss something. Like your people, there's a very clear place for you and your people to go,
Right.
and know you're gonna meet other like-minded individuals.
Are you my
That's
people?
really
Yes.
nice.
You haven't figured it out yet.
That's gonna be a good one. Are you? I'm almost afraid to ask. Are you doing anything Friday night? Because I can share some of the other events that are on Friday night, but I'm worried I might be in conflict with something.
Go
you might
ahead,
be
share
planning.
your events. There's like a fashion show, right?
Yes.
We were
So
talking. We were. I was told about that. We didn't plan anything during the same time because of the fashion show. We
perfect.
wanted
See
everyone to go. Yeah,
that's
be
what our
busy.
supreme overlords Jen and Rich
you're
do
in
for
the
us.
fashion show. What are you talking
No, that's why I
about?
said I'll be busy.
Yeah.
Yes, so the Trans World Runway Showcase. It
Mhm.
is it's an event that again Jen and Rich tapped me to produce. It's brand new for this year, and it is an opportunity to see what the hottest new products in Halloween and Christmas are going to be. To put it in perspective, right, there are 500 exhibitors at Transworld. We are limiting this to 40 of them. And so there's going to be, the 40 of the most dedicated on top of it, exhibitors that have something new and hot to show. And what's fun about it is you're right. It did start conceptually as a fashion show. And the more I looked at the vendor list and the more I looked at, the what was there and what was available, I really wanted to make sure that we had a way to highlight not just costumes. And I love costumes, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to be able to highlight not just hot costumes, not just props, but really be able to highlight technology companies, performance companies, special effects companies. And so it's going to be a very much produced show where we are going through some really cool vendor products. And there are still slots, so vendors can still sign up. But we are bringing in a professional troupe of dancers. We have a professional, very energetic host. We are decking out the ballroom with AV and lighting and audio to really make it a production. And there will be costumes, there will be hand props, there will be special effects. I definitely want to see if Ross will do a projection mapping show, like a little
That
teaser
would
in
be
there.
great.
I haven't called him yet on that one, but I definitely want to be like, hey, come do this. I'm hoping.
Well, I'll ask him tomorrow when I see him.
Yes, please do.
What
But
time
yeah,
is that one on
that is
Friday?
5:30 to 7:30 on Friday in the
Perfect.
America Center Ballroom. And this is one of the only events that is free for attendees and one of the only events that is free for attendees with food.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so there is
So
very little
5:30 to
reason.
7:30 Friday night in the ballroom.
Yes, and there
And
is
then
very
after that, well, go ahead.
after that there's all sorts of stuff, but it is, I believe there is no other event in conflict with this one.
Yeah, there's not. That's why they
Yeah.
kept it open like that. So at 8:30 p.m. Friday night is Santa's Beach
Santa's
Bash.
Beach Party.
So it's the Christmas
Yes.
party. Bring your flip flops and your
Yes.
beach wear. That's what he's always wearing. And come
St.
hang
Louis.
out in the Magnolia St. Louis Ballroom.
All
Yeah.
right.
Mhm. And it's going to be, it says swap your snow boots for flip flops. I mean,
Done.
you already, he's done.
if I'm not completely fried
with us.
from running the showcase, I will definitely stop by. I've got a
Just get your Hawaiian shirt and
Oh,
show
I
up.
I think I can do one better than that. I got some I could pull out of the closet for
Do you have like a hula skirt?
I could do that. That's not what I was
Mm.
thinking. No, no, my this is very anecdotal and I apologize, but my my mother ended up in the hospital for like 3 months, like a really
Mm.
long time. And I was living on the East Coast, still am, and she's in California. And so when I was able to finally get out there and visit her, I walked in a full body flamingo suit and and walked into this hospital and like walked into my mom's room as a full-blown flamingo. So I think I could just put the Hawaiian shirt over that costume and then I'd fit right into this
That
to
would be
this beach
perfect.
bash.
I think you belong. I mean,
I think you just talked yourself into
you
it.
have to come now. You
I
just
gotta
told the
find the
world.
costume. I don't know
You
where that
told the
is
world.
right now. I gotta
You
find
told the
it.
world. You have to show up. That's
That's
all I
it.
know.
You gotta come to see the
Boom,
flamingo
check.
costume.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
tickets available for that as well online. Once you register on Transworld, you can see all the tickets individually for that.
Hmm.
So it's great.
That'll be a great photo op. Everybody
Hmm.
in a Hawaiian shirt. Or is that what you guys are thinking?
I'm always
It's a
thinking
great
it.
one.
Always thinking it. Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I mean, we've gone way past the hour. I really appreciate you talking
My
us through
pleasure.
everything. And thank you so much for joining us. And if people want to get a hold of you to work with you, I know that you said you're pretty booked up, but where would they go? Is there a
Oh,
website, something?
funny enough, no, there's not. I am very much word of mouth, to be honest, which is nice. I don't really have to market, and that has been an absolute blessing. But my email address is jeff.holmes@hey.com, hey.com. Uh, it's don't get lost in the hey.com part. It's just an email domain. But but yeah, that's I'm jeff.holmes@hey.com, and you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok and all the things at Jeff Holmes Presents. One word, Jeff Holmes Presents. And I'm
Nice.
I'm available on all the things. And worst case scenario, I will see you at the trade show. You can come find
Is
me.
there anything else you want to tell our viewers about yourself or what's going on in come up and coming that
I
they need to
appreciate
know?
that. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna have two booths at Transworld. For
Mhm.
two different companies. And the first one is called Snowball and Flurry, and Snowball and Flurry is a video and special effects show that I rent to gardens and zoos, churches, museums, theme parks, and it features a giant video wall castle and special effects like bubbles and lasers and falling snow. And it's all wrapped in this very heartwarming story about a little snowman who's overcoming his pride and learning that the greatest magic of all comes from faith and family. So
Aw.
it actually, thank you. It actually, funny enough, came out of the fact that projection mapping is so hard. And I wanted to have a turnkey rentable thing that cost less for venues that wanted to do projection mapping. But what happened is last year, put it in multiple locations. It's been seen now by 500,000 people. And I was remotely remapping that castle every week
Mm.
because I didn't know this, but projectors, thermal expansion, and physical settling of the hardware, projectors will, over time, slowly start to lose their focus or slowly start to nudge. And I had multiple projectors all laying on top of each other to get the brightest image and the most clarity. So,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
yeah, so it was a lesson learned, and so this year I've switched over to doing it as a giant video wall, and it's actually brighter and it has a lot less maintenance. And I still love projection mapping because projection mapping is the cheaper way to do it. But if you are a venue that doesn't feel like you have the people on your staff to maintain the projection systems, then this is another way to bring a high octane special effects marketable attraction to your event without having to need anything other than open space.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm really excited. I've been working on that show for a very long time, and the fact that it's out in the world now is has been really fun. It's quite the journey.
That's great.
Thank you.
All right, Jose, any final words for us before we get off here?
No, this was great. A lot of great information. My first time, I'm learned a lot. I have like 30 pages open on my browser right now.
Yes.
Just okay, I gotta go back to that. I gotta go back to that. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for all the information.
We got a
This is
question
really
from
great.
Facebook.
Oh, we have a question. Okay, what's the question, Patrick?
Scott asked, where does he go to get all these special effects?
Where do I go to get all the special effects?
Yes.
That's a great question.
Mhm.
So I start with Froggy's Fog. And if Froggy's
Where else would you
right,
start?
yeah.
Yeah.
And if Froggy's Fog doesn't have what I need, then I start to look elsewhere. Sometimes I've had to literally go to China to find something that doesn't exist. The biggest challenge for me has been a lot of this stuff has to be outdoor rated,
Right.
or what I did last year is we built a sort of Rapunzel style tower and put all of the non-outdoor rated special effects in the tower.
Inside. Mhm.
And then you would just open and close the doors every night to make that work. So but usually Froggy's Fog is my go-to. I've got a really good relationship with them. The product is really robust. And they also sell products that are not Froggy brand, so you can see what the options are.
Yeah, it's Scott Tater Lind. He said I always have what he needs.
That's true. Yes, Tater is a few years ago. You might remember Transworld had this trend called like defund Tater. Tater is a very well-known face of Froggy's Fog, and he and I met, funny enough, at Christmas Expo many years ago. We became really good friends, and he's always taken really good care of me. Froggy's, of course, provides the fluid, and they provide the effects, and honestly, and the tech support, right? Because I tend to try to do things with these machines that they're not really made for, and so that's always fun. The other effects that I like, if you want to do water fountains, the company you should go to if you have all the money in the world is Oase, OASE. I do not have all the money in the world.
Right.
So a more economic option is Matos Designs, Mattos. They sell a water fountain, water fountain and a light as a single unit. It's a DMX controllable water fountain, and it's very responsive. I really like it. It also gets everything very, very wet. So for water fountains, I like to use them. And then lasers would be X Laser. If you are going to go into the laser space, X Laser makes lasers that can be controlled like a light. So if you have a lighting background or you're used to using a lighting console or X lights, X Laser has a way to really connect the dots and integrate. Most laser systems require a specialty software called Penguin. It sounds like penguin with an L in it. And
England.
Penguin, right? And that software, of course, is license based. It's very expensive, and XLaser, helps you deal with the licensing requirements, for lasers, and they're just really they really know what they're talking about, and the price points are wide. So depending on where you need to enter and what you're trying to do, they have really good options.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's a good question.
All right. Ashley, got any final words for us? Parting words.
This, I feel like, yes, it's going to be my first year at Transworld, but for anybody like watching or listening, I just feel like this is, if you've missed all of them, this is the year that you're going to go.
Right.
This is the year.
This is the it event. And I don't know what it was like before. Okay. So please forgive me, but this feels like Transworld has like just leveled up on a whole other like level as far as like the Christmas side goes. And I do go to a lot of events more for residential because those are usually where my clients are, but this just feels all encompassing. So don't sleep on it. Go. It's not a couple days. It is more like 4 or 5 days, but go. I think this is going to be that one show that you go to and you're like, oh my gosh, that was just so worth it because you're going to get everything.
I'm telling people if they fly in just to come for the weekend for the trade show part of it, even if they can't come for the pre-show or the other classes, like come Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
or Saturday, Sunday, because it's not over till Sunday afternoon. So there's plenty of time, plenty of time to see everything. Yeah, if you come in Saturday, you can.
It's just jam packed.
Mhm.
Like you're not there's something every moment.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it to check it out. If you're in the Christmas industry or the entertainment industry, interactive, it's all there. Halloween, obviously, too. There's a whole Halloween series. That's what it is.
Your competitor's probably not going because they're not thinking on the same level that you are. If any of this has interested you at all, there is a calling. You must go.
Thank you, Ashley. That's perfect. Patrick, back here.
I'm tired. No, I'm excited for Transworld this year. We got a lot going on. We know a lot of people that are going, a lot of installers that we've talked to who have got their tickets, and they're either going to our class or they bought the light series. So it's going to be fun. Last year I was there as an installer, so it's a whole different Transworld for me this year. I'm glad I went last year. I got to experience it, but like Ashley said, it's Transworld has really leveled up this year with everything they've got going on, and especially just how different it is than what it's been for a while. And we've heard that from quite a few people. So yeah, I'm excited. St. Louis is going to be fun. We're going to be there for a week. So what better place than to be for a week than St. Louis? At least it's at the end of March, so it shouldn't be as cold, hopefully. But yeah, I'm excited. Just excited to meet everybody. Also for all the vendors, we only see each other a couple times a year, so it's good to see all of our friends and then just kind of get to see what everyone's up to, how their season went. We haven't talked. We got done with our season. We're already bidding jobs. I threw out a couple bids today, so Stacy doesn't even know about it. So
now I'm concerned.
But no, yeah. So it's just going to be fun, and really looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Patrick.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you everybody who's watching on Facebook. If you're watching after the fact, please put your comments in there. We'll get back to you. And if you're looking for a commercial Christmas training, I do a 2-hour consultation. It's $500, and we go through your business from top to bottom, and I help you fill those gaps. So please sign up on my website, redsleighworkshop.com. You can message us there. You can do a free 15-minute call. I can help you out. I really prefer people start out with the consultation. That way, when they come to the actual training, every person who's come to my training tomorrow has done the consultation unless they just signed up today, which there's that. So I really like to have that ahead of time so I know exactly the audience that we're working with, right? Who our avatar is, and bring it the most value as we can. So definitely go to redsleighworkshop.com. We have a bunch of training upcoming as well. Besides the one this week, there's one coming up in Dallas. There's one coming up, a one-day training in Montana this year at the end of June, middle of June, which I hear is a great time to be in Montana. So I've never been. Looking forward to that. And also one more training here in Texas at the end of April. So if you're looking to level up in your commercial Christmas, we're here for you. And thank you guys again for coming and joining us. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Oops, there she is. And Jeffrey, I appreciate all your time, and we'll see you in Transworld. We'll see you before then.
See you in less than 40 days, I think.
Woohoo!
Here we come.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.